Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about my final update for the Lightning Strike Warden. So after last time where I unlocked everything, since then I have upgraded a few things that I think are quite important for the build, so I wanted to make this final update. Like I said, I'm usually done after week 1 with my League starter, and I'm moving on to new projects. That being said, this video will entail everything I've done since the last update, and then also some things for the future in case you want to get this build to the next level. In general, though, this build has been amazing. If Warden doesn't get any changes, I can not see any reason why I wouldn't put this, for example, on max roll or something, or update it in the future. Now, there are 3 big changes that I made to the build since last time. The first one is the Thread of Hope respec. As you guys can see here, there is a cluster jewel. The problem with cluster jewel is it costs 8 points and you are very dense on the right side in terms of power per point. However, with a little bit of fiddling around and also getting some levels, currently level 98, and a massive Thread of Hope, we did kind of get there. Now, what does the extra cluster jewel give you? It gives you an extra projectile here with Fan of Blades and also gives you martial prowess, although the second node can be mostly whatever you want as long as it does something. But first, talking about the Thread of Hope. So a massive Thread of Hope currently is a lot cheaper than it was back in the day and a lot cheaper now. Roundabout a little bit over a divine. And what this lets you do is it lets you allocate all the points in the radius, and that includes some down here. So you're able to cut some very inefficient points, which is super good. You get weapon artistry, aspect of links. And the important thing is these all fall into the lethal pride category right here. So if you didn't have them before, now you can maybe reconsider getting a new lethal pride that also includes these 3 notables. If you want to be truly stun immune, by the way, and this is something I could have done as well, is you can take Perfectionist right here, which gives you a 30% chance to avoid being stunned. And there's also, you get like 28% from here. And there's also tattoos for 10% chance to avoid being stunned. So that's a nice one right there. Sleight of Hand and also Blood Siphon, an extremely efficient jewel, as well as this reservation node, which we'll get to in a second. And this basically made it so I can use a cluster jewel. Now, since we're very point starved, it would be optimal to have Fan of Blades, which is the only really important one, in front. Now, you might think in projectile doesn't really make much of a difference. In my opinion, it does, but you don't have to like break the bank for it. I paid 10 divines for this because I knew it would have resale value because everybody's playing claws and daggers right now. But it also gives 20% increased damage, so it's not like you're really sacrificing anything, and that's what makes this node so good. Now, people have asked me, is it weird to have an even number of projectiles because kind of the spread read like the V? Personally, on 6 projectiles, I didn't feel any problems with that at all. It was a lot better than 5. 4 is a little bit weird and icky. That's why I said definitely get the quality of Lightning Strike ASAP. Now, in case you guys don't know, how can you see which nodes are in front and which are in the back? There's a little bit of a trick right here. I'll show you this real quick. Now, Cluster Jewel always has 2 prefixes and 1 suffixes if it has 3 notables, right? You have to roll for them or you have to buy for them. Now, you can know which one's behind because it's the one in the middle of the 3 that you choose here. This is the POEDB. And let's, for example, say my prefixes are Vicious Skewering, Aggressive Defense, and then my suffix is Heavy Hitter. Of these 3, Heavy Hitter is in the middle, which means it's going to be in the back. And that is all there is to know. So yes, Disease Vector works. Others work as well. I'll link this down in the description. And like I said, it's not the end of the world, but I'm assuming not everybody's level 98, so you're going to struggle on points, right? That's why I'm pointing this out. So this one is a huge power spike and very strong. The second thing I did is I actually got Herald of Ice back into the build. Herald of Ice isn't exactly all that important. It gives you like 6-7% more damage in terms of flat. It has cool explosions. It does kind of help with like freezing packs. In general, it was just something I could put in because I had open gem sockets, as we talked about. I still have one here. Actually, I do not. This should be a Flame Dash. I'm going to edit that in the POB. But either way, if you get an Enlighten 3, you most likely don't need an Enlighten 4. Then you get Herald of Ice. Now, if you had an Enlighten 4, most likely, because I actually have too much reservation. Actually, let's do this. If you had an Enlighten 4, you could probably cut this point right here. But since it's very convenient, and I really like having a lot of mana open, you can do that. But with an Enlighten 4, probably maybe you just cut this, either this or this, but you would have an extra point. And the last thing I did was craft +2 to additional enemies, +2 strikes. If you've never crafted these Eldritch, I will actually put on the screen right now how we crafted this. Okay. So we need to upgrade the blue mod to tier 4 because then we have more chance to upgrade the strike skill. Boom. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay. So we got it to tier 2 now. We reapply it. Then we have tier 4, tier 2. Okay. Now we have a tier 3. We need to get to tier 5 in order to upgrade it. Oh! It went down to tier 2. Try again. Okay. Exceptional and grand. Okay. Please. Yes. Okay. We're on tier 4. And now it's a 50-50. Now it's a 50-50. It's not that bad. We only need a tier 5. We don't need a tier 6. Okay. Tier 5 is already +2. Alright, this is the one. This is gonna be the one. Please. Please, dude. I don't want to buy more. Please let it end. Please. These are so expensive. Okay, the exerted... We know we hit when the exerted attack goes down. Okay, good. We're on tier 4 again. Exceptional, exceptional. Alright, watch this. Watch this. This is the one. I mean, it's that easy. It's that easy. Now we just have to roll for Pierce, and we're golden. There you go. Gloves are done. Let's roll. Let's get 70 life on, though. Looks kind of shit. 69 is fine. All right. There you go. Huge. Now, in terms of upgrades for the future, which I'm not going to get to, but you might. First up, a Watcher's Eye. In terms of what you want here, it really depends on which of the auras you keep into endgame. Are you going to stick with the D-term version or not? But in general, increased movement speed is fine. Chance to suppress spells. Chance to evade is actually quite strong. And on the D-term side, if you stay with it, you can get a lot tankier, especially if you get something like PDR. But that's a defensive upgrade. How about offenses? You would get a Darkness Enthroned. Important to know is there is a way to drop 5 and 6 stat Abyss Jewels in this game currently, and people are doing it with Legions. So you have a chance to get 5 or 6 random modifiers. So you will see some freaky accident items that you wouldn't think they existed. So make yourself searches. For example, I found this one the other day. And as you can see right here, this can get pretty freaky. You can get those for claws. They are quite expensive, but the difference between a good and a bad one on a Darkness Enthroned is insane because the Darkness Enthroned doubles the effect. After that, obvious upgrades, Headhunter, Mageblood, you guys know the drill. Mageblood might be a little bit weird to get in. I honestly think that Headhunter would be the GG, or if you're not juicing or farming, you could probably stick with the Darkness Enthroned. I just wanted to throw it in there. Reason Mageblood is a little bit weird is because we have 2 tinctures, and I kind of would like you to get a Progenesis eventually. It is one of the strongest defensive flasks in the game, straight up. So yeah, but that's up to you. And then Alva gloves. If you guys remember the endgame version I had in here, I had these freakish gloves. Now, the way you made these back in the days with recombinators, you could actually recombinate several of these hybrid temple mods together. Now, as far as I know, these temple mods got quite nerfed. So here's the recombinator, and I haven't played around with it much. I didn't have the currency. Now I do. We're probably going to do some fun stuff. But in general, if you want to throw stuff in here, make sure that you kind of maybe research how it used to work in Sentinel a little bit, but then also understand that they have nerfed quite a few things about this. So maybe do some research on Reddit or wait until more stuff is known. Now, otherwise, I know that Lawcahol is also playing Lightning Strike, so maybe he's going to make some more update videos. He loves Lightning Strike. He's going to play it for longer than me. And also, Period.Ninja is always a good resource. Just, I don't know, search by DPS, search by EHP, whatever you want. Here, Lightning Strike, Warden, and you can kind of look in. Maybe they have some kind of tech, right? And then you just go, look at this guy, Headhunter. Wow, I wouldn't... such a mind-blowing item, right? Okay, now I'm going to buy a Headhunter. So stuff like that. And yeah, Progenesis, once again, is incredible for every build in general. Now, there is a second option that you could do. This is especially good if everything you want to do in endgame revolves around mapping. And that is a respec to Deadeye. If you guys don't know how Lightning Strike of Arcing looks like, it is basically the same as Lightning Strike, just that instead of pierce, it actually chains. Now, the downside of this skill is that you have less damage and it doesn't work as well with returning projectiles. However, once you have enough damage and you are maybe now in that position at some point that you have maybe too much damage even, you might look into this. Now, I have not played the build, so I cannot guarantee it, but Tuna absolutely loves the build, so I will link the max roll guide down below. Maybe get into it, maybe look into it. When it comes to Deadeye respec, I mean, it's like 40 regret points or something. If you don't like it, you can just go back. But this is something I've heard people say very good things about. But yeah, that's about it for me for this league starter. Look out for my next project, which is coming very soon. I'm a little bit tired, not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna rest for like a day or something, and then we're back to full. In general, this league start has been degenerate as hell. I've been absolutely loving every second. There's so many builds I want to play. I don't even know when I was last this enthused about the game. So in general, I'm really happy with everything. Hope you guys had a good league start. In general, if you want to watch the stream, twitch.tv/Palsteron. I'll go to sleep since I still don't have you guys know the drill. See ya.